Have you ever noticed that sometimes things aren't exactly what they seem? There are moments when everything around us seems normal, but a detail, something almost imperceptible, makes us question. It could be a different look, a word said hesitantly, or even a silence that carries inexplicable weight. It's as if an energy hovers in the air, something you can't decipher, but you know it's there. You feel it, don't you? It's almost impossible to ignore. What you might not have realized yet is that someone is living an internal battle right there next to you, a battle that centers around you. This person tries, day after day, to hide something that can no longer be kept secret. There are feelings that simply cannot be contained forever. And no matter how much they try to be discreet, the signs appear. You've noticed it, even if unintentionally. This person is in love with you. Yes, in love. And it's not something fleeting or superficial. It's deep, intense, almost suffocating. Maybe you think it's an exaggeration, or even that it doesn't make sense. But when you put together all the little gestures, that strange way of approaching, the way they avoid looking you in the eyes at crucial moments, or how they seem nervous around you, you realize that everything points to a single truth. And here's the crucial point. This truth won't remain hidden for long, because feelings have a peculiar way of coming to the surface. They manifest in the most unexpected moments. Are you prepared for this? For the possibility that everything you know, everything you feel, might be about to change irreversibly. It's not just any love, it's something that carries intensity, fear, hope, and above all, vulnerability. Think about how you will react. Have you thought about it? Maybe not yet, because you never imagined that this person, the one right next to you, could harbor something so strong. But now that you know, now that these words have awakened that possibility, what do you feel? Because love has the power to change everything, absolutely everything. It stirs us, throws us off balance, makes us question what we thought was definitive. And when that moment comes, because it will come, what will you do? Will you embrace this feeling, give it space to express itself? Or will you hesitate, caught in doubts, in the what-ifs that sometimes paralyze us? It's not an easy decision, and no one can make it for you. But what you need to know, what is most important here, is that true love doesn't appear very often. It is rare, it is precious. And when it arises, it is like a calling that you cannot ignore. Now imagine for a moment, what would it be like if you allowed this love to be revealed, if you gave space for this connection to strengthen? Because what is about to happen between you and this person is something that can transform not only your relationship, but also who you are, in the deepest part of your essence. To love and be truly loved is an experience that rebuilds us from the inside out. Are you ready for that? You are about to experience something that perhaps you have never imagined. It is not just about love, it is about the truth. A truth that for so long has been there, hidden in the details, in the gestures, in the unspoken words. This person who is by your side, who is part of your life in some way, has kept this inside themselves because they were afraid of being rejected, afraid of not being enough, afraid that by confessing what they feel, something would change forever. And indeed it will change. But don't think it's just any kind of fear. It's that type of dread that only exists when something truly important is at stake. This person is not just in love. They feel something for you so deep, so intense, that it surpasses any logical explanation. It's the kind of feeling that keeps you up at night, that consumes your thoughts, that makes your heart race even with the simplest memory. You have been the reason for all of this, even without knowing. And now, this truth is about to come to light, because no one can hide something like this forever. It's like a force that keeps growing, accumulating, until it can't be contained anymore. Maybe this person has been preparing for days, weeks, even months, rehearsing the words they are going to say. Maybe they are waiting for the right moment, that instant when their heart believes that you will be ready to hear it too. But is there really a right moment, or does the truth simply unfold? What you need to understand now is that this revelation can change everything, not only for them, but especially for you. Because when someone has the courage to open up, to show their deepest, most vulnerable feelings, it creates a connection that goes beyond the superficial, and whether you accept it or not, It will affect you. It will make you question things you never considered before. How do you feel about this person? Have you ever thought about it? And if you never have, why not? Maybe because you believed it could never be possible, or maybe because you were too busy with other things to notice the signs. But now, they are here, clearer than ever, and it's impossible to ignore. The way they look at you, how they care for you, how they are present in the moments when you need it the most, even if you don't ask. It's not a coincidence. It never was. You may be thinking, but why now? Why didn't this person say it before? And the answer is simple. They didn't know how. Do you know how hard it is to expose our deepest feelings? It's a huge risk, because the moment we open up, we become vulnerable. We put everything we are into the hands of the other person. It's terrifying. But that's what this person is willing to do for you. They are willing to strip away all their defenses, all their masks, because what they feel is greater than any fear. And when that happens, you will have a choice. You can open your arms to this feeling, allow it to transform your relationship into something it has never been before. Or you can turn your back, pretend that none of this is happening, and move on as if this truth had never been spoken. But think about it for a moment. Could you really ignore something like that? Because once the truth is revealed, it can never be undone. You will never look at this person the same way again, no matter what your decision is. This is not just any situation. It's not something that happens every day. It's rare to find someone who is willing to open up like this, to give their heart, knowing there's a possibility of not being reciprocated. It takes courage, a courage that few people have. And even though you may not realize it now, this is also a gift for you. Because love, even when it's not reciprocal, teaches us something. It makes us look inside, makes us realize what truly matters. So take a moment and reflect. How are you going to react? How are you going to deal with this person who, in the coming days, weeks, or even hours, might gather the courage to say how they feel? Because the moment is approaching. You feel it, don't you? That energy in the air, that sense that something big is about to happen. It's not just an impression, it's real. And when it happens, you will need to be prepared. But here is the most important point. It's not just about how you're going to react. It's about who you are, deep down. Because accepting or not accepting this feeling says much more about you than about her. It's about how you see love, relationships, and what truly matters in life. Are you ready to make space for something so intense, so true? Or will you let fear and doubts prevent you from experiencing something that can transform your life? This decision will not be easy, and to be honest, it shouldn't be, because the things that are truly worth it in life are never easy, ever. They require us to question ourselves, to face our fears, to be willing to step out of our comfort zone. And that's exactly what this situation is asking of you. Not just a response, but a transformation. If you choose to embrace this feeling, know that it will not be perfect. No relationship is. But it will be true. It will be based on something that goes beyond appearances, beyond the superficial. And that is rare, that is special. But if you choose not to accept, that's okay too. Because true love does not force, does not demand. It simply exists. And even if you don't reciprocate, it will have still fulfilled its purpose, to show that it is possible to feel something so deep, so pure. However, do not be mistaken. The decision you make will reverberate. It will echo in every aspect of your life, because love in any form changes us. It teaches us something, even when we are unable to embrace it. And the question you need to ask yourself now is, are you willing to learn? Are you willing to open yourself up to this possibility, even if it is frightening? Because what is coming is inevitable. And when it arrives, you will be at the center of it all. It will be you who decides the next step. And I cannot make that decision for you. Nobody can. But I can say this: love is a gift. Even when it arrives in the most unexpected forms, it is a gift. And now it is here before you, waiting to be discovered. You feel it, don't you? This truth that is so close, that it can almost be touched. It is here waiting for you to be ready. And the question that remains is, are you? What is happening now, while you reflect on all this, is a preparation. Not only for what is to come, but for who you will be when the moment arrives, because something like this does not happen without impact. The truth is, This person is not the only one who is vulnerable. When she opens up, when she exposes what she feels, she will place something in your hands that is at the same time precious and delicate. A piece of herself. And you, even if you do not realize it, will also be exposed. Because the way you react, the words you choose, the look you return, all of this will reveal much more about you than you imagine. It may seem like just an emotional situation, but it is much more. It is a moment of choice, of revelation, not only for her, but for you as well. There is no way to go through this indifferently, because love, even when you do not expect it, challenges us. It takes us out of the control we thought we had. Now imagine how this person must be feeling at this exact moment. They know they are taking a huge risk. They know that by confessing their feelings, they might lose the chance to remain close to you the way they are now. Because yes, sometimes it's easier to love from afar. In silence, it doesn't hurt as much. It doesn't demand as much. But it's not enough. Not when the feeling is true, deep. Not when the heart asks for more. This courage that they are about to demonstrate is rare. How many people do you know who are capable of doing this? Of putting what they feel above all fears, above all insecurities? Maybe you have been in their position before and know how difficult it is. Or maybe you have never experienced something like this, which makes it all the more new, more challenging. But the truth is, when someone puts their heart in front of you in this way, it changes everything. You need to know, there is no right or wrong answer. There is no manual for dealing with something like this. You don't need to feel the same way this person does, but you need to be honest with yourself, with what you feel, with what you can or cannot offer. Because the worst thing you can do is pretend. Pretend that you didn't hear, pretend that nothing has changed, or even pretend a feeling that doesn't exist. Love, as you probably know, can't stand lies. It can survive a lot of things, but not that. And in case you realize that you also feel something, that there is a space within you where this feeling can grow, then maybe it is your turn to open up. Because yes, this person is taking the first step. But a true relationship only exists when both are willing to walk together. If you feel something, even if it is small, even if it is confusing, maybe it's time to make it clear. Because love doesn't need to be ready to start. It just needs to be true, and if, on the other hand, you realize that you don't feel the same way, that's also important. Because being honest with her is an act of respect. Saying that you can't reciprocate, but that you value her courage, that you care about how she feels, even if you can't offer the same in return, is more than just a response. It's a way to show that you recognize the value of what she's offering. What can't happen, what you can't let happen, is silence. Pretending that nothing has changed is to deny the depth of the moment. It's like leaving a precious gift forgotten in a corner without even opening it. And that's not fair, not to her, not to you, because love, when it arises, deserves to be treated with care. Even when it's not reciprocated, it carries a transformative power. It changes the way we look at life, the people around us, and even ourselves. Now let's be clear. This won't be easy. You might feel a mix of emotions, confusion, fear, perhaps even a sense of heaviness, as if all of this is too much responsibility. And in a way, it is, because what's being placed before you is something that demands attention, demands presence. You can't just ignore it, but you also don't have to carry it alone. Remember that this person is already showing most of the vulnerability. She is already taking a risk in a way that few can. And that's something you need to value even if you don't have immediate answers. Maybe you need time to process, to understand how you feel, to find the right words, and that's okay. The important thing is that you don't close this door abruptly, because even if the love doesn't become reciprocal, it still deserves respect. If you are open to this experience, even if hesitantly, what can happen between you two is something neither party expects. Because love is not just about attraction or desire. Above all, it is about connection. And connection is something rare, something that doesn't always appear in the most obvious places or the most planned situations. Sometimes it emerges where we least expect it, in the most improbable moments. And if you decide not to reciprocate, if you decide that this feeling is not something you can or want to embrace, know that this is also a form of respect. Because true love is not possession. It doesn't demand reciprocity. it just exists. And even when it cannot be lived in the form of a relationship, it still enriches the one who feels it, who is loved, and even those who watch from the outside. Now, before the moment arrives, before the truth is spoken, stop and reflect. What do you want for your life? Not just in love, but in all areas, because moments like this don't happen every day. They are rare, precious, and when they come, they have the power to show us things about ourselves that we never noticed before. Are you ready to discover who you really are deep down? Because, in the end, that's what it's all about. It's not just about her, nor just about what she feels for you. It's about how you choose to live, choose to feel, choose to connect. Life is made of these moments. The ones that challenge us, the ones that test us, the ones that transform us. And this now is one of those moments. You are already in the middle of it. What you do from here depends entirely on you. And the only thing I can guarantee is that regardless of the path you choose, nothing will be the same as before. And in a way, that is something wonderful. Because it means you are alive, you are growing, you are allowing yourself to feel. And that more than anything else is what truly matters. If you want, I can continue. What do you think?